You probably checked out the title and are wondering, did the Success Bistro really just make a video about noses? Are they trying to add to their long list of body language tips with another body part? But here's the real question. Do you know about how fascinating your nose is? Do you know how much nose behavior gets overlooked in the body language world? In this ultimate guide, you will learn why your nose is so important in the social cues world, why people touch their nose, different nose play gestures, and so much more. Can you guess how many different odors our nose can distinguish? Would you believe me if I said the answer was 1 trillion? Yes, our nose is capable of sniffing over 1 trillion odors. You've heard of dogs sniffing each other when they first meet, but on a basic level, humans do too. The same exact thing. We actually learn a lot of information about the other person by sniffing their odor after shaking hands. It sounds peculiar, but let me break it down. Researchers have observed that after a person shook someone's hand, they were prone to constantly sniff their hands during the interaction, specifically about 22% of the time. And of course, people didn't shake their hands all the time, but when they did, the percentage significantly increased. But it's not like they're just outrightly sniffing their hands during conversation. They do it subtly. Maybe rubbing or touching their nose, maybe putting their hands over their mouth, or maybe touching their chin. So why do we sniff each other? Think about your odor as a personal ID. Everyone has a different ID, and if asked to test it, you'd be able to correctly identify your odor. Even if it's not conscious, chances are you are downloading subconscious information into your brain, such as a person's health, genetic compatibility, and even emotional stress. 8 nose-touching gestures. Needless to say, nose touching, brushing, and playing is very popular, especially during anxious or tense situations. Watch out for repeated touching of the nose, especially during negotiations. Here are 8 nose-touching gestures that you should look out for. Number 1. Touching nose. So what does touching your nose mean in body language? Nose touching may mean that a person is unconvinced or uncertain about this. When a person is feeling anxious or stressed, their heart rate increases. This may cause them to breathe faster through their nose, and in turn leads to their blood vessels in their nose dilating, causing a tingling or itching sensation. Touching can also come in different variations like rubbing or scratching. Number 2 is sneaking nose touching. This gesture is a hidden way someone might touch their nose. Some variations include a quick touch of an index finger to the nose, swiping a forearm across their nose, moving from a chin touch gesture to a nose touch, swatting away an annoying fly that landed on their nose. This gesture signifies a masked feeling of tension and is a nonverbal way of saying, everything is okay when everything is not okay. A person who sneaks in a nose touch may just be feigning interest in you or pretending to be happy. Number 3 is nose brushing. Brushing your nose lightly with your index finger several times is linked to psychological discomfort or stress. It also indicates that a person is pondering. Number 4 is side nose touch. This cultural signal can be interpreted as a sign of secrecy or conspiracy, such as keep in the dark, don't spread it around, in England, and in central Italy, it's usually a warning like take care there's danger or there's sketchy people around. Number 5 is covering your nose with both hands. If a person covers their nose and thus a large portion of their face, they're indicating shock, surprise, insecurity, or apprehension. You'll see this during tragic events, and psychologists suggest that we do this because of an evolutionary trait. It's an instinct that stops predators from hearing us breathe when we're scared. Number 6 is pinching the bridge of her nose. When someone pinches their nose, it can mean that they feel frustrated or negative about something and that they're thinking about it deeply. Number 7 is playing with the philtrum. The philtrum is the groove between our lips and nose. Playing with it in any shape or form indicates stretch. Watch out for the tongue play here. If a person pushes their tongue between their teeth and the inner part of their philtrum repeatedly, it indicates a need for reassurance. Number 8 is the nose pyramid. This gesture is done when someone touches the tips of their fingers together and brings their hand to their nose. It's similar to the hand steepling, but is brought towards their face. During a negotiation, the nose pyramid is a great way to gauge confidence. This gesture is a great indicator of stress or anxiety, so you may see it in someone when they're working on a project and their computer decides to shut off without saving their work. Subtle nose gestures you probably miss in your everyday life. Sniffing, twitching, wrinkling, flaring are all tiny nose movements that not everyone knows about or knows what to look out for. Flaring your nostrils before a fight is a very important survival mechanism because when we open up our nostrils, we're able to take in more oxygen. This fills up our lungs and loads our blood with oxygen so we have the energy to fight. It's also possible that our nostrils flare before a fight to take in more of the opponent's smell so we can subconsciously smell adrenaline and pheromones. It's also a sign that they're about to run or do something aggressive. However, context is important here. Nostrils also flare during attraction because of excitement or anticipation pheromones. Wrinkled nose. This gesture is a common cue of disgust and can be seen when someone sees something they don't like or are grossed out or are angered because of something around them. Nose twitching is the same as nose wrinkle but shorter, lasting about 1/25th of a second. This gesture is commonly found in Caribbean cities and is a subconscious way of saying what's going on or what happened. Releasing a puff of air. Like a dragon, puffing air out is something we do when we feel frustrated, angry, or even insulted. This gesture may be coupled with crossing arms and pursing lips. Since puffing out air is quite obvious, you may see it in kids more than adults. Look for a more subtle release of air coupled with a nostril flare to identify anger or frustration in adults. Sniffing. You may sometimes notice a person having a runny nose, and it may not always be because of a cold. Anxiety may cause runny noses, and thus causing someone to sniff. It may even happen in minutes. If a person's nose starts running, consider reassuring them and providing comfort, or a Kleenex if you have one in handy. Rapid nose inhaling is a loud inhale that's loud enough to be heard. Picture this. You've announced your big idea to the company, and right before your boss replies, you see him purse his lips and rapidly inhale. Big uh-oh. Right before delivering bad or unpleasant news, a person may deeply inhale. When we inhale, air stimulates our nose hairs and nerve endings, which momentarily mitigates the sense of having to say or reveal something bad. You may even see liars inhale before coming out with the truth. The human body is truly complex, so don't miss out this opportunity to expand your body language knowledge. Check out our other body language videos whenever you have the chance to and learn more about body language cues. Thank you for watching this video. For more content like this, make sure to subscribe to the Success Bistro, like this video, and comment down below.